And gentlemen, welcome to our angel readings. I'm just going to do our quick opening prayer and then we are off. Let me just do our opening prayer and then just feel free to pop your questions in here. I'll jump between the Facebook group and the questions that you post live. I am on a platform, okay? So that means that if you're going to write a question, you really want to pop your name underneath as well. Okay. O great spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen. Namaste. Okay, you guys are super fast today. Hi, Sky. Can you please tell me if I'm going to have children in this life? Is it meant for me? Many thanks. So, immediately when I'm tuning into you, I'm seeing Archangel Gabriel. Now, I'm also seeing Archangel Ariel, which normally means it's both. So I have they're showing me that you will have your own children and that you're going to adopt or foster children. And it might even come together. A lot of people foster and adopt. And then when they know that they're going to be a good parent, they find it easier to conceive. But they're showing me that, yeah, like it's in your destiny to be a parent in this lifetime. Hi, Sky. How can I increase my self-worth and keep it up? So, okay, from what the angels always tell me is that I'm a spiritual athlete. And that works for me because I was a swimmer and I did a lot of competitive swimming. And I was in hockey and netball and badminton and jiu-jitsu and all sorts when I was in high school. And I'm still a very sporty, fit person now. And what you understand when you are an athlete is that you can't outtrain a bad diet and that you have to show up and do your workout every single day, right? And it's the same thing with Course in Miracles. I have to show up and do my Course in Miracles exercises every single day, not just when it's convenient. Now, we live in a world that is predominantly filled with fear. So we have to proactively fill ourselves up with love. Otherwise, it's very easy to have your vibration lowered because the conversations that you have, the media that you listen to, the people that are in your immediate circle will go through periods of suffering or periods of doubt. So with self-worth, you have to look at the places where you allowed other people to tell you what your worth was. And normally this happens with our parents and it happens with our siblings and it happens with our teachers when we're growing up at school and with our grades. And you go through these experiences in therapy or in hypnosis um, or in sessions, and you reclaim that inner child and you take you release the meanings that you gave to that. So if you think to the Bible, when it says, when I was a child, I thought as a child, I acted as a child, and now that I am grown, I put away childish things. It's the same thing. There's a point where you have to realize that you are dealing with adult situations from the perspective of a child. And when you're little, you get a lot of validation from, you may be never creating as an artist, for example, because your nursery school teacher thought you were bad at art. Or you may be avoiding dealing with your financial freedom because somebody told you were bad at math, right? Or it just wasn't your strength. You may be avoiding difficult conversations because someone wrote down in your report that you weren't good at problem solving. Until we heal our inner child, we often make adult decisions with the inner child in the driving seat, and that's a really bad place to make decisions from. And we make decisions from a place of toxic emotions instead of from healing those emotions. So the first step is to listen to something like like a hypnosis recording or a meditation that boosts your self-esteem every single day. And then the other part is to actually do the deep therapy and digging work so that you get into your subconscious mind that your worth is your birthright, that it should never be on the table, and that you have something amazing to offer the world. And that's what you're communicating on a daily basis. And you'll also become a lot more sensitive to when people are trying to take your worth, right? And it's often when they're trying to get something from you, whether it's money or time or energy, and they'll be like, well, if you were a good person, then you do what I want for free. Or if you were a good person, you wouldn't say no to me. Or if you were a good person, you would just do what I'm telling you to do. And then you say, well, look, I hear that you want this, but it doesn't feel right for me. And I'm standing my ground. You don't do it rudely, you're not mean to anybody, but you are really crystal clear. That you have boundaries and that you have self-respect. Because what you have to understand is if you've had low self-worth, you've been teaching everyone around you to treat you badly. And suddenly, when you make that shift to having worth, they may take some time to adapt, and some people may leave your life permanently because they don't know how to respect other people. They don't know how to honor those boundaries, or they just don't feel comfortable with your boundaries, and that is their right. Right, the relationship has changed and they're going to have to reassess whether it works for them. You're reassessing what bits work for you. They have every right to reassess what bits work and don't work for them. And that's the vulnerability bit of setting boundaries, right? Is that we have to decide that we are going to not just honor our own, but honor other people's. Okay, let me do a quick energy break and then next person. Hi, Skylar. Thank you for your energy and support with the angel readings. When and where can I meet my divine soulmate? Is it still what is still blocked here that it becomes possible? Thank you. Okay. Do an energy break for the last one. Okay. So they're showing me that this is actually a block around personal freedom. There isn't a way to be in an intimate relationship where your life doesn't change. Okay. And some of those changes are for the better, but some of those changes are not for the better, right? Um, and that doesn't mean you're inside the wrong relationship. It just means that every change requires adjustment. So if let's say you get a job, that job is going to require you to get out of bed in the morning, to, look professional, to do your job correctly, and to show up, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it. And it's the same thing when it comes to making a long-term intimate relationship work. It requires us to show up, even when we don't feel like it. On good days and on bad days. That's what sharing a life with someone looks like, instead of just sharing um the relationship. So anywhere where you're afraid of losing your freedom by entering into a relationship, can we release that now? And can creator show you that entering into a relationship is an act of freedom, right? It's a decision, just like working out is an act of freedom. Discipline is an act of freedom. If you look at a gymnast, if you look at any successful person, they make decisions that feed their goals and that make them more likely to manifest their dreams on earth. And that is a decision. It's not a loss of freedom. Freedom is the right to make a decision. So when you enter into a relationship and you commit, it is a choice to use your freedom in a particular way. You use your freedom to enter into a committed relationship. So when I had Archie, for example, it completely changed my whole life. And it does. And it does because I made a decision to have a child. And in some ways that's incredible. And in some ways that's really hard. Right? But when you create something, you take the good with the bad. This is like a rainbow world. It's a full spectrum world. So can we show you that it's safe for you to use your freedom and how to accept situations and people through creator of all that is in the highest and best way? So we all want to be loved for who we are, but we all want other people to change before we love them, right? So can we show you how to just let people be who they are and to commit to someone, to marry someone that you like as they are, that you're not being with for their potential or for who you think they could be or for when they change. You actually like who they are now. Okay. There's also a core belief coming up here of I shouldn't have to change to be in a relationship, so I'm just gonna truth bomb it. Gonna completely demolish that baby. You of course you have to change to be in a relationship. You don't have to turn into someone else, but you do have to be figure out who you are in that relationship. Especially if you've never been with that person before, different people bring out different parts of you, different people balance different parts of you, and different people trigger different parts of you. And some people bring out the best and some people bring out the worst. But if you've never been in a long-term committed relationship before, make no mistake, you're going to have to change, right? So this idea that you shouldn't have to change for anyone is just, it's childish and it's painful. So can we release it and can we show you that it's your choice to change? You want to share a life with someone. And life is one of the laws of the universe, and it's okay. It's okay to choose to change and to become more of yourself with someone and to figure out who you are in that relationship. Who I am as a mom, who I am as a wife, who I am as a business leader is very, very different than who I was when I was just a therapist or just a teacher, um, or just, doing angel readings. And the reason is that my time has many more demands on it. So if I don't have the discipline, if I don't have the boundaries, then people get hurt. There's a lot of people relying on me for my time, for my energy. And where my discipline slips, that affects other people. Right. And it affects my mood and my health and what I'm able to give and the energy that I arrive in the room with. So it's okay to change. And people will, like it or not like it. There we go. But it's not a sign that you're in the wrong relationship or that you're becoming a doormat. How do you know the difference? I can almost hear it when like I can almost hear you guys asking questions before you even ask. So how do you know the difference between becoming a doormat and changing as a natural part of the relationship? When you change as a natural part of the relationship, you feel like you're becoming more of yourself. You feel like even if you don't like what you have to change, that it makes you a better person, right? It makes you a better person and a person more able and more capable to serve the world and to serve humanity. Um, the other person that you're with is also making changes, and they may not be the changes that you want the person to make, but you can see that they're making a genuine effort to become a better human being and to figure out how to share life with you. And what you're building is worth it. That's what you have to really see. You're part of a team, you're on the same team, and the family that you're building is worth it. There we go. Okay. Okay, so hi Sky, this is very unusual for me. May I ask for a scan about my soulmate? Yes, you may. Let me have another. We've got soulmate on the brain today. Oh gosh, so I think this is around an argument around conflict. Archangel Raguel's coming in, so whenever he shows up, I know there's been some kind of drama on the scene. Okay, so I'm just gonna get Archangel Michael in as well, just do a vacuum on the relationship. Oh, there we go. And Archangel Raguel's coming in and saying, look, for starters, you guys know I'm not an astrology buff, but from an astrological perspective, we have a major eclipse going on the last few days, and it's brought up a lot of repressed feelings and emotions. And a lot of you have been keeping the peace in the relationship. And I'm going to drop another truth bomb on you. Relationships are not the place for peace. Relationships are the place for love. And whenever you try to keep the peace by being dishonest instead of having authentic conversations, it's going to build up and build up and build up until it explodes, right? And that can also be in from the other person, because when we think, this is the fear mind or the ego mind, right? We honestly think that the other person doesn't know that we're not okay or that we're upset as long as we don't say anything out loud, and it's just not true. Right? They notice that we've been quieter. They notice that we've been more distant. They notice that we're not being as affectionate. They will feel the attack thoughts that we have going on, even if they're not very violent ones, even if it's just doubt, like, oh, is this really the right person for me? How could they treat me like that? How could they say that? They don't really understand me. These are fear thoughts, right? And they will be in the energy of the relationship, or unless you give them to God, the other person will feel them. Okay. So anywhere where you've been being passive aggressive and thinking you're getting away with it, can we give it to Archangel Raphael now? Because he's really asking for it. So can you just hand it over? Okay, and then Archangel Raguel's asking for some radical honesty. So some of you are no longer in love with your partners and you're pretending that it's the other person, and that if they would just change, that everything would be okay. So can we just release the spiritual bypassing and this belief that you are able to love everybody unconditionally and everyone else just isn't as enlightened as you? And can we show you the truth that everybody in romantic relationships has limits to what they can accept and be safe, to what they can accept and feel loved? And without you knowing what those limits, by the way, are what boundaries are, then relationships become sabotaged, because not only can you not communicate those things clearly to your partner, but you can't tell when the relationship's getting dangerous, or you normally figure out that it's over months after it's actually over. So, oh, I'm getting goosebumps as I say that. You are going to have to get honest with yourself about what things you don't have the capacity to love are. Because when you know what those things are, you can either hand them over to God and develop a capacity to love them, right? Or you can assert those boundaries and say, look, I'm really sorry. I don't think this is healthy for me, and ask the other person to change. But not choosing not to deal with something is a choice to either allow the relationship to end by itself, right? Or to keep things as they are and to have nothing change. There we go. Now it's moving. Ooh. And people are going, oh, I don't want to play ultimatums. I don't want to play games. Like, there's nothing gamey or manipulaty about being honest about what you need. And it's not an ultimatum, it's a choice. Okay? People can get all, you know, that's why I say some people just need to put on their big girl pants and their big boy pants. Yes, they have the right to not change. Yes, they have the right to not give you the level of love and treatment that you deserve, but you have the right to say that you're not staying, and you have the right to protect yourself and to set standards inside your relationship. And it's no more, manipulation than them saying that they won't change or them treating you badly. People have the right to do what's best for them. There we go. So that's the last thing Archangel Raguel wants me to communicate, is that um, just because you've made the right choice for you doesn't mean the other person is going to understand or validate it. So stop looking to the people that you are having to set boundaries with to tell you that it's okay. I'll give you an example which will help give you some perspective. When I have to set limits with my 2-year-old, I don't expect him to say thank you, mummy, right? If I have to tell him no, right, the stove is dangerous, or no, you have to stop before you cross the road, no matter how beautiful that motorbike is, right? Or how much you want to say to your friend, he doesn't like it. He tells me off, and it's still my job to hold the space and to say it's not safe. We will cross the road when it's safe, right? And it's exactly the same thing in an intimate relationship. It's exactly the same thing in a friendship. There is nothing loving about letting people do unsafe things emotionally, mentally, physically inside a relationship. So sometimes you will have to hold the ground and be like, no, it's not safe. It's not safe for me to let you treat me like that. It's not safe for us to move forward in that way. And unless you change, the relationship isn't moving forward. And hold the space. And 9 times out of 10, because you're holding the space, the person will transform, because you're not going onto this high horse and going into that energy of I'm better than you and I deserve a better partner. You're going into the energy of we both deserve a healthy relationship, and I'm going to stand for that and I'm going to hold that. And you can either join it or you can release it, but I'm not going into an unsafe space with you, right? I'm not available for an unsafe relationship, but it's not coming from a place of you're a bad boyfriend or you're a bad girlfriend or you're not my soulmate. It's coming from a place of this is what we need to be in a safe relationship. Either we can create it together or we can't. But I'm not willing to enter into an unsafe relationship, and that decreases the defensiveness by a lot, right? It's the same thing with discipline when it comes to a child. When I'm disciplining my son, I want to come at discipline from a place of love, not a place of frustration, not a place of anger, not a place of failure and feeling like I'm a bad mom. I want to come into the discipline space from a place of love, from a place of knowing that he needs to master these lessons, and that I am the safe space that God has provided for him to figure this out in the most loving way possible. And that if he doesn't figure it out, he will hurt himself, right? Whether it's hurting himself emotionally, socially, physically, spiritually, financially, he needs this space to work it out. And it's my job to be kind, but to hold the space so that he can figure out in safety, right? How to hold that energy and what it looks like when other people test his boundaries, when other people try and push him into doing things that aren't good for him. Okay. Another energy break. B is saying, will I meet my soulmate this year or the next one? There are some people, but it's very confusing. You've already met your soulmate, but I have a feeling it's not going to manifest into a relationship until the new year. I actually saw a New Year's party the moment that I asked. So it might actually happen bang on the new year. Um, I would clear whenever you have the energy of confusion in the relationship, you want to look at where you're lacking clarity about whether or not that person meets your requirements for being in a safe relationship or not, and being in a loving relationship or not. Ooh, 4 we've got another angel number. Our angels are saying that they see what we're doing and that they're with us. Okay, Zaima is saying, Dear Sky, thank you. Many blessings. Can you please tell me if the condition in my red cells called Bathalasma is limiting my abundance? Thank you. Okay, when I'm scanning you, it's not about, okay, it's the condition doesn't limit your abundance, but the beliefs around you not being allowed to feel joy. So blood is all about communication. And when there's a problem with blood and with platelets, it's an energy of not being able to feel joy or feeling joyless. And that's why when you cut yourself or when you're bleeding, it's an energy of leaking joy or not being allowed to experience joy. And not being allowed to have joy is blocking your abundance. So ask the angels to show you. I'm actually getting Archangel Raphael here, who's the angel of joy, who wants to help you experience more joy in your daily life. And that's actually going to help you heal the physical condition as well. They're showing me severe mineral deficiencies in copper going on. So I would have a look at copper, and there's one more. Okay, it's copper and B vitamins, and the B vitamins are preventing you from getting enough iron. So I would have a look at that. You need like a proper strong B complex. Obviously, it's not medical advice, but I'd get tested for vitamin and mineral deficiencies. Hi, Skylar. Hi, lovely. This is the question I am asking for my partner as he works at this time and can't be present. Okay, he already gave permission. So he is a volume trader, self-taught since 2 years and very dedicated to learning the skills, etc. He feels he can be successful with it and create financial independence, but it doesn't hasn't come to fruition yet. He hits certain walls again and again. What does he need? What blocks need to be resolved so everything finally flows and happens to him? Thank you. Okay, so immediately I have Archangel Michael coming through and showing me that your husband has some serious betrayal trauma. He wants to be loved for who he is, and he's afraid that when he makes money, he's not going to be able to tell if people are staying with him for the money or if people are using him for the money or if they really love him. So he needs to work on his trusting his gut feeling and trusting his heart, um, and trusting that women are more than capable of loving abundant men, right? I know that there's this idea in the collective consciousness that women who marry wealthy men are just gold diggers. It's not how it works. Women are more attracted to wealthy men because they're hardwired to be able to provide for the bubbas, right? And they know on an ancestral level that kids need food, they need shelter, they need clothes, they have requirements, and that they can't give the kid the emotional requirements that they need and work full time without the child suffering to a certain extent. So women are hardwired on our genetic level to find the male that can provide the most. Even the male birds build nests, and then the women choose the nests, right? So the reason they choose the nest is because they're going to bring their babies. This is the most precious thing that we have that we want to share with that man. So can we release from him this fear? And he, you can ask him and he can say yes. Can we release from him this fear that he won't be loved for who he is? And that people will try and take advantage of him financially, and they will try. He can say no. You don't have to say yes, you can say no. Okay, that's looking good. But that's the biggest one. The other thing that you could that would be good for him is to download him with what it feels like to make money for himself instead of working for a job. So I'm going to unplug him from job consciousness and plug him into entrepreneurial consciousness. And what it feels like to be supported. To pull the belief that he's alone and replace it with the belief that he's supported. There we go. Okay. I'm going to bring in Archangel Shamuel and the abundance angels to help him break through his ceiling. Hi, Sky. Lovely day to you. Can you please guide me with my divine purpose in life and how to hear clearly the voice of Creator? Thank you. My love, you know that your purpose is to be a healer. You know it. Like you're surrounded by healing angels. Um, you need to practice hearing the voice of Creator. You need to sit your butt down in meditation. You guys know I work the Course in Miracles like it's going out of fashion. I work it every day. I do my Course in Miracles every day. It literally comes to my phone because otherwise, it's a big book and I can't lug it around with me, and I have a toddler, so it literally comes to my phone. I have a message that gets sent to me every day, so that I can work through my lessons and sometimes even listen to them, at nap time or things like that if I missed my morning meditation. But if you want a connection with Creator, then the important thing to work on is a practice and a prayer. So it can be meditation, it can be praying every day, it can be automatic writing, but it's important to make an effort to ask God every day. So you guys know my prayer is to God is, where would you have me go? What would you have me do? What would you have me say and to whom? And then you have to actually listen to the answers. Okay. Hi, Sky. Thanks for the readings. I have teeth issues. Can you tell me what it is and what I can do about it? Can you ask the angels to bless my finances and fix them? Okay, so teeth is about not being able to make decisions, and decisions are about having a deep trust in God and a deep trust that life is working for you. And when that trust has been broken, we're always wondering if we made the right decision or the wrong decision, right? And it also means that we have no teeth because often when we make a decision, we question it and then we have no way of holding on to it or fighting for that decision when other people challenge us or give us a hard time about having made that decision, or when that decision inconveniences someone else and it triggers them. Right? Let's say you commit to going back to university, and your partner's having a problem with it, or your mom still wants you to have a coffee with her once a week. But now you have a job and you have university and you have to study, and you have to say no to a lot of things that you used to say yes to, right? A lot of, nights out and things like that so that you can commit to getting the results that you want. You need teeth to do that. You need to deal with the guilt trips and people giving you a hard time about putting yourself first and calling you selfish and being passive aggressive. So not trusting that in God means that when you make a decision you will question it, right? So can we download you with the capacity to trust God? And you probably need to do some sessions around this, right? Whether it's medical intuitive technique or theta healing, you're going to do some sessions. Okay. We're just going to ask the angels, courtesy of you, to bless everybody's finances today with increase, with abundance, with exponential growth, with breakthroughs, with miracles. I'm going to speak breakthroughs over your finances. I'm going to speak miracles into your finances. I'm going to speak opportunities into your life in the name of God. And so it is. Some of you have never had prosperity spoken over you before. It's okay, it's safe. Oof. Just say yes to receive it. Okay. Hi, Sky. Can you do a scan on my 3.5-year-old daughter? She woke up screaming and her neck is hurting and I'm concerned. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to start by bringing in Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael. And we're just going to do an instant healing for this little girl. And just remove any negative energy of the nightmare or of psychic attack. Okay. I'm actually going to put a hedge of protection around her as well. It looks like a form of psychic attack, so I'm going to pull out any psychic attack or negative energy. And what I've realized, that I never realized until I was a mom, is that other people, the parents of other people's kids, often have feelings about your kid that you don't know about because they've had interactions in playgrounds or nurseries or things like that. And sometimes it's for other reasons, like they wanted a girl and they never had a girl or whatever. So, can we just release any psychic attack that may be coming from other parents towards your child, or grandparents towards your child, or husband towards your child, or you towards your child, please, now? Oof. There we go. Okay, hi Sky. I want to thank you for your free readings. It helps me in hard times. Please scan me and my daughter. She had bad results. We think she has cancer. Oh, my love, I'm so sorry. I'm very frustrated and scared. Please give me some guidance. Okay, we're going to bring in Archangel Raphael, his band of healing mercy, and the psychic surgeons. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay, so cancer always comes from toxicity and resentment. So, can we just vacuum your whole family from that, please? Can we close the cancer gene? We're just going to bring in a family constellations healing for you now. Gosh, and I can feel there's some very powerful healers on the call. Can everybody please just send unconditional love up through Creator down to this little girl, please? And everybody send it up through Creator first. I'm just going to turn it into a channel through Archangel Raphael so that she's not getting blasted by a million people's different energies. We're just going to turn it into the right energy for her healing in the highest and best way, using a little bit of Archangel Raphael's magic. But just send it to Archangel Raphael, and he's going to turn it into the format that she needs right now. Ooh, there we go. Thank you. I can feel you all. Okay, that looks better. Okay, Mother Mary wants to come in here as well and really comfort you and nurture you. Any beliefs that it's your fault, can we release that? Every parent of every child that ever got sick thinks it's their fault. Okay, and that's why so often when we scan situations as healers, that we see that belief, and some healers even blame parents. But the truth is, it's a core wound. Okay, and it comes from the collective consciousness, the belief that everything is the parent's fault. There we go. It's just not true, and that guilt is going to stop you from being the mom that you need to be right now. Okay, that's looking a lot better. Hi, Sky. Could you do a scan on me and tell me what I can do to marry rich? Thank you. um, okay, so the most important thing we talked about yesterday, I'm getting Archangel Shamuel coming in really strong. So the most important thing when you're looking at a wealthy man or a wealthy woman is to understand that people want to be loved for who they are, right? Not for their wealth. Um, Different wealthy people have different rules for love. Okay, and that's the same with everybody. But I'll start with, you asked for a wealthy man, so that's what I'm going to focus on. Most wealthy men need to feel that their wife is going to love them, is going to respect them, is going to take care of herself, and is going to bring a light into the home, right? You can see how much friction there is, how many wives resent their husbands for working, how many wives, are just, how many people are just in it for the money and not in it for the other person. The moment things get hard, they leave. How many rich men, have their children yanked away from them. So, wealthy men, they're just like all men. They want to feel loved. They want to feel safe. They want you to feel gratitude for what they are providing. They want to know that you really deeply respect what they do and you're not going to attack them when they have to work late nights or evenings. High amounts of wealth often come with high amounts of responsibility, socially, community wise, fiscally. And to the actual company that they run. And it means that they're in charge of dealing with the difficult situations and solving the hard problems when these things happen and when they go down. And that can often mean they're more absent at home, right? And they also really want to feel desired. They really want to feel desired. They want to feel sexy. They want to feel attractive. So if you want to be with a wealthy man, that's the first thing to understand, is that, can you love this man for who he is? Do you respect the work that he does and what he brings to the table? Are you committed to taking care of him and his family and putting the work that provides you with the wealth that you desire um first? And many women, it's in our hearts that it's our divine life purpose to run and nurture a family, and it's a perfectly beautiful divine life purpose. And someone asking to marry a wealthy man is no different than them asking, how do I get a well-paid job, right? So that's the last thing that you need to work on, is your self-worth. Because if you are not earning well and you want to be in a relationship with a man that's earning, you might start to resent or feel like there's a power imbalance, like a fear that if you lose him, you will lose everything that you have. Okay. So you have to work on your self worth to know that you are worth millions or billions, and that you're a commodity, you're a valuable um, asset to someone's life. And it's scientifically proven that a good marriage makes a person more successful. Okay. So you want to work on on any beliefs that you are like a burden, or something that men resent, and you want to change it to, you are an asset and you are something precious that needs to be cherished, and that you are the one of the biggest blessings in a man's life, and that you know how to be nurtured, you know how to be cherished, and you know what you're willing to provide in return, right? That's how you can go about manifesting a wealthy man, if that's for your highest and best good. Okay, Fazia is saying, hi, beautiful sky. I'm going through some dental stuff due to bad treatment and pain last few months, and all of a sudden experiencing paralyzing body ache. If you can please offer some healing and insight. Okay, so pain is guilt. Every time you have like a sharp pain in your body, it's to do with feeling unconscious guilt. And they're actually showing me a virus. There's a real theme today around feeling worthy, right? Worthy of being taken care of, worthy of being yourself, worthy of experiencing um, recognition for your job, worthy of being a mom. So they're literally like worthy of making choices that are good for you. Teeth are all about decisions. Decisions change your life. Decisions are what your destiny rests on. Okay. So you're feeling really deep guilt and paralyzing fear about taking responsibility for your life. And not worthy of that level of responsibility. We just kind of covered what it's like to be a wealthy person. Large amounts of wealth often come with more responsibility. Bare minimum, the responsibility of managing a higher income, right? So can we release the paralyzing fear of having more responsibility? Okay, that's looking good. Going to send an Archangel Raphael and his band of mercy to help you. Okay, Barbara, I'm also seeing a B vitamin, and a copper issue for you, my love. So it's the same as the lady above. I wouldn't wait. I would literally go and get like a proper B vitamin complex and a good copper complex, and hopefully get a proper vitamin mineral test from the doctor as well. The fact that it's dropping and still within the normal range, I hate it. I genuinely hate it when people say that. You have a unique range, and these measurements are just statistics for what they believe is within normal. If they can see a change in yours, then they should run tests to find out what's behind that. And normally it's minerals and vitamins. Um, um, pine bark has got a very good reputation for being able to heal blood issues as well. So it makes a very strong tea, but it's got a very good reputation for being able to sort out issues because it's got such good mineral and vitamin content in it as well. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Okay, Mary is saying, "Hi, Sky. Can I ask a question for my sister who is here with me? She's at a pivotal life moment and could really use some inspirational guidance. Thank you and many blessings." Okay, so immediately I'm getting Archangel Jeremiah coming in here, who's the angel of forgiveness. And I'm getting a very strong message that she needs to be strong. She's telling herself over and over again that she's not strong enough for this and that she doesn't have what it takes. And I can see Archangel Jeremiah like pulling out his staff and putting it down and saying, "You need to start affirming that the strength of God is within you, that you are strong enough for everything that you need to do, and that you are taking back your power, you are taking back control." That you're forgiving everyone involved, and that you trust that you will be able to provide yourself and everyone that's dependent on you with the life that they need. But you need to start affirming that you are strong enough, because this belief that you are not strong enough is going to start creating disease. It's going to start creating poverty, because it's like your subconscious mind is hearing the words, "This situation is killing me. I cannot be this strong. I cannot be this responsible. I don't want to deal with this." And then it's going to find ways of getting you out of having to deal with it, right? So you need to tell to your subconscious mind, "I am strong. I will find a way. I will increase, my income will increase, my situation will improve. I will make the changes required so that I can be a better leader, a better provider for my family." We were often raised as a generation of people who were taught to look after ourselves. And it becomes real very quickly, both when you become a parent, but also when you become an adult child, that you're going to have family responsibilities, not just for children, but also for parents. And that's going to require an income, a good one. And it's also going to require a lot of kindness and time and pressure on us. But diamonds are made under pressure. We are here to create loving communities and loving families. And a big part of that is showing up for other people and letting them know that they matter and that they're important. But we can't do that unless we're proud of being strong instead of hating being strong. So it's forgiving our parents for being ill or for being weak or for leaving us, forgiving ourselves for not having taken ourselves more seriously and done the hard work sooner, and really starting to affirm that you are strong enough, that you have everything you need, that God is going to make a way for everybody in your family to be taken care of, and that a breakthrough is coming, that a miracle is coming, that the shift is right about to happen. You have to start, remember, talking about how big your God is to the difficult situations, instead of talking to God about how difficult your situation is, if you want those miracles to come in thick and fast and your abundance to increase. You have to stop messing around. You have to make the darkness tremble. And when you're facing disease or you're facing poverty and your whole family's safety and security is on the line, you have to kind of enter into that really strong, fierce feminine energy, like Khaleesi, or like the goddess Kali, or into this mother bear energy. You have to step into that divine flame and go, "No, this is not going to happen on my watch. Under my watch, my family will be safe. Under my watch, my family will be abundant. Under my watch, peace will reign in this space. Under my watch, no darkness will enter here. And it's really important. Oh, I'm getting goosebumps as I say that. You are the flame of your home. The woman holds the spiritual space. She is the garden of the house. She's the guardian of the family. So it's your job on a daily basis to speak prosperity over your family, to speak peace over your family, to speak wholeness, to speak love, to speak strength, to speak opportunity, to speak joy, to speak courage into their hearts and hope every single day, to put angels at the windows and the doors, to open your heart to witness their growth and how hard they're trying, to validate people, to send out those little gratitude messages. It is it's worth its weight in gold. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I'll be back at 4 p.m. to do our financial freedom. A financial freedom clearing. We have a financial freedom masterclass tonight. If you haven't joined us yet, guys, you're going to be missing out. We're going to go deeper into the downloads, into the clearings, into the biggest blocks that we face to creating financial freedom. And I haven't done this one in a long time. It's but still my YouTube video that gets, I think it's got over 100,000 hits now. It gets the biggest amount of engagement and the fastest results. So it's still 4-4. It's going to go up to 8-8 tomorrow. We're also running the Medical Intuitive Mastermind starting January. We had 3 extra people sign on yesterday. Whoop, whoop. I know that there's some powerful healers listening. I saw how powerful you guys went to help that little girl. If you want to harness those skills to heal disease, then please DM me. We have some serious work to do. There are more sick people than there have ever been on the face of the planet, and we are being called as medical intuitives to work miracles. Let's do our closing prayer. O Great Spirit, Father, Sky, Mother, Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended, that our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste.